Hi everyone, it's Dasher Dave here again, and I'm back for another crafty video. So we're going to continue with this journal. So this is the envelope journal that I was making. We finished in the first video we did the spine, and we put the signatures in. In the second video we added the envelopes in various different guises. Some of them still have the non-stick paper in, which I shall remove. We did try different methods of insertion of these things, and now we're going to add the front and back cover. Well, we're going to talk about what we're going to do. So you move my microphone wire out of the way, otherwise I'll cut that off. So this is some of the leftover stuff from the spine. But a couple of people have asked some things about construction of it, and I thought it might be a good idea as we kind of go through the video and I think of new things to kind of talk about how you can, some like top tips for it. So a couple of things. So the one thing I wanted to start off with is how to make your concertina first from a strip of card. So lots of people try to they measure a bit, and then they fold it based on that fold. So let me see if I can talk you through what I mean from that. So let's just use a piece of paper here. Let me use this just to cut it. Might as well cut what we've got. Just do this. So what I mean is lots of people try to fold it based on a measurement. So they might decide, let's say they wanted this size of tab. Yeah, they would start at this end and then they would fold it from there back and forth, etc. Now you can do that, but what you will find is as you go through it, it won't marry up. Some will end up being smaller and larger. It'll occasionally go off kilter and you'll end up with zigzag lines, etc. So I wanted just to show you the best way, well certainly my way for folding these. So what I do is I fold them in half first of all and line the two edges up, and then I bring it down to this bottom edge and I score it and I put my score in. So holding the two edges together, you get quicker at this, by the way. So the first one might seem a bit fiddly, and then just fold that out. Then what I do is I bring the open edge to the fold and I line those two up, and again I score in that fold, and then I flip it over and I do the same on the back. So again, keeping those together, and that way then you're not going off on a tangent, on a wonk. Yeah, and once you've got that, so you've got now this like kind of a letter M. Yeah, now what you're going to do is you're going to take this edge and fold it back to this edge here. And fold it, put that in, and then flip it over and do the same with the other side. And then fold it, put that in, and then we've got this sort of shape. So like we've got two smaller mountains and a large mountain in the middle. Okay, and what we need to do is now we open it up. Yeah, and what we're going to do is going to turn this fold in the other way round, and we're going to marry those two folds up together. Yeah, so you get it nice and neat. Then you pinch that. And you fold and you crease that in, and then you do the same again. So you're going to grab it, these two folds together, line it up, put in that fold. Okay, so, and what you'll find is they'll start to become much more uniform, and then you can fold it down further from there by turning each one of these folds into the other way round. So you fold these two together. So you fold this up to this edge, and you put that fold in. I won't do with the bone folding. Then you flip that back and you turn, and then you fold these two edges together. put that in, and you flip that back, put that one in, and you just keep doing that, and then you'll find that you end up with a much straighter, much more uniform concertina, accordion, whatever you prefer to call it. And then we'll just keep going. I might as well do the whole lot now. Now I've got it, and then we'll flip that over there, and you'll find that they kind of marry up and they're much more uniform, and that's my top tip for doing that. Certainly that bit. Okay, so I've got another top tip for you, but we'll come to that as we need to. So what I've decided is I want to have, I've toyed with this, to be fair. What did I want on the front, and what did I want on the back? Did I want just hardboard? Did I want to have some of this? Compromises. I wanted it to be harder. I wanted it to be a tougher front and back, so it feels a bit more of a substantial book. Yeah. So, but I also like the file folders. So what I thought was I will cover these in file folders. Won't cover the edges because I want it to be, so I'm not going to wrap this around it. I'm just going to glue some to the top and glue some to the bottom and colour the edges, because I want it to look a little bit bashed, worn, torn, etc. Now the only thing is, there were a couple of internal post envelopes that I wanted to use, but I'm not sure where I'm going to use them, so I'm just going to put them to one side for the time being. There's a red bit of a file folder that I wanted to incorporate in some way, because I love those red ones, and I don't have many of those. And then there were these. So this one has obviously seen better days. This is one of the older ones. You can tell that it's older because it's made of thick cardboard. Newer file folder style ones tend to be much thinner cardboard. So I like the really greenness of this, but I like the oldness of this. So, and I also like this one. And this one, you can't really you might be able to see that it's had some kind of water damage to it, so you can see these droplets. But also what it's done is it's made the surface very fluffy, and as a child I used to hate that feeling. As an adult, I don't like it if I catch it with my fingernails, but I like the feel of it now because it feels old. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to have one side, the inside with that on the front, the outside with this, and then vice versa on the back. I'm not sure though. So anyway, what I want to do first of all, let's move these out of the way so I've got space to work. There are certain bits that I quite wanted. So I thought I'd quite like to get not necessarily the Rexall logo, but the crystal file and this fool's cap suspension thing in. Didn't want the recycle logos and all of that. So that's what I'm going to do. So first of all, what I'm going to do is, shall I? No, let's go for, no, we'll go for this. I was thinking one of the things I was thinking is I could glue it to the back and then just trim it off. But if I do that, I can't tell where I'm placing on the wording. So I'm going to cut it first. Actually, let's cut this in. So I made the boards. The boards I already cut. I cut them off camera. I didn't cut them off camera deliberately. I cut them thinking the camera was rolling, and it wasn't. So rather than do that again, I'm just using what I've got. Just sat here talking to myself, but you know, there's nothing new there, is there? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to line this up. I want to get it as close to being in the right place as possible. I don't want to get in camera. I want to get my head in camera. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be very brave. Oh gosh, well I would be very brave if I could find anything. There is somewhere else there. I'm going to just cut this down like this. I'm going to cut that bit off. I'm going to cut this bit off without trying to get in camera too much. I'm still wearing my uniform. So I don't have to wear a uniform for work, but I like to wear one because Well, I'm a bit proud of where I work, so that's. Please don't cut things like I'm cutting now, where you're crossing over arms. That's completely off kilter, Dave, and that is too. What are you doing? It's because you can't see what you're doing, Dave. There we go. Slightly better, I think. No, come on. There we go. Once it comes free, I know I've cut through it. So that's one piece. So did go off on a tangent there. See, that's because I was not watching what I was doing. But what I was thinking is, by the time I've roughed it up, it won't matter. So, you know, I might have this pulling off, etc. So, well, we will now. I'll make a feature of it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue it down. Now, best way to glue it down will be to do it with something else. Shall I get the Byron out? Let's get Byron out. Okay, Byron the Zyron. As you know, I like to call my Zyron Byron because it makes me laugh. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's mine. So I'm going to use my Zyron, which I don't use very often. I know we've talked about this before. Some of us have. Some of you are new here, though. I don't use it a lot because it was never very widely available in the UK as it was. And now it's definitely not available in the UK. I don't know whether it's still available in the US. But we're talking hundreds of pounds for refills for it, and it's literally only what's left in the UK. You can't get any new stock of it, so I only use it when I have to, because I absolutely love it. If I could get it easily, or it was cost effective, I would use it all the time. So this is one of the things that people hated about Zyrons, is they left a tacky edge, but if you kind of just sealed the glue edge by running a biro or the end of your scoring tool or whatever down the edge, it created a seal. So no more seals, no at all. I've said in the last video, no seals were harmed in the making of it, and no seals are going to be harmed in the making of this. So just making sure that it makes good contact, eye to eye contact. This is what I do to make sure it makes good contact. You just want to make sure that the glue that is on the it starts off on the non-stick bit, and then it doesn't stick to it sticks to the card wherever the card is, but then sticks to this carrier sheet wherever the card isn't. So you want to make sure it bonds nicely, so when you peel it away, it doesn't leave any stringy bits. Get rid of that. You want to make sure that doesn't stick to any of your projects, because you'll just tear the surface off. And then we just need to make sure that that's completely bonded to the card before we pull that off. And rather than peeling the card from the paper, we're going to peel the paper from the card, and that way then we'll end up with a nice flat finish. You see, that's the thing, you need to make sure it's completely bonded. Just peel it off. Be really gentle when you do it. That way then, if you do that, peel it that way, the card doesn't go all curvy. You don't get curvy card. So I'm going to pop that on there. Now, it's not very forgiving. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity to get this in the right place. So there's no pressure at all, Dave. No, hang on a minute. Is this even the right way around? I don't know whether there is a right or a wrong way. It'll do. It's fine. Don't worry about this edge. I'm not worried about it. You might be, but I'm not. I'll stick that bit down there. And again, we're just going to make sure that makes a nice adhesion. And just like with any kind of gluing, even if you're using dry gluing, the longer you leave it be, the better it will be. So leave it alone for a bit, let it form its bond, and then you can get on with the other piece. So this is going to be the back piece. So move that out of the way. The back piece, again, I will use some of this. Now, do I want to use it? It doesn't have to be the same. Which side do I want to use? Do I want to use the, quite like this bit actually. So I think I might use that. So again, I am going to, you know what I might do this time round? I'm not worried about so much about what's on it. I think, well, let's go through my Xyron. I don't know. Well, shall we find out? So, I might put this on the Xyron. Byron. Oh, that's the wrong way around. I've just sat there trying to work out what's going on. Why does this look wrong? It's because it is wrong, Dave. So, see if this goes through. It does with a bit of brute force. There you go. So that goes through. Cut that off. I shall cry when this runs out. But we won't talk about it. If you don't talk about it, it won't happen. So, again, I'm just going to break the seal edge. Not so easy when the cardboard's thicker. Let's try and do that with a... There we go, that's better. But then, what's it called? What's this called? This is called a thingy tool. A hoogie what's it? Whatchamacallit? It's a flibbity gibbet. A will-o'-the-wisp. No, it's not a will-o'-the-wisp. What's this called? Bone folder, Dave. Bone folder, Dave. Right, there we go. That's that one. Yep, happy with that. Right, okay, so again, leave it to one side to let it do its bonding. And we're going to do something with, move this out of the way because I'm worried I'm going to squash that. And we will do, shall we do with you? We'll do with you. Right, so the inner one, I'm not going to use my Xyron on. I really like that bit there. I might have to cut that off. So, I'm going to use double-sided tape. So this is, well, this used to be carpet tape that we had donated to us at work that we didn't ever use. Sorry, there's a fly. And I'm going to use this. So, because it's basically like the Xyron, a little bit more fiddly, but like the Xyron. It's not straight, Dave, but I'm not going to use my nice scissors to cut this with, because this is as tacky as. And then we'll just butt that up. And just cover the whole thing. Now I realise this might give you like ridges in it, but again I'm not worried about it. All adds to the uniqueness and beauty. Bit like me. Oh, covered in undulations and unique and beautiful. say nothing. Yeah, so like these are like really sticky now. That's the reason I didn't want to use my nice. I know that the Tim Holtz scissors are Teflon coated for just such occasions, but I still didn't want to use them. Right, let me move that out of the way and cut this off. Okay, that's hopefully they've cut off. No, oh no, maybe not. Oh. Put that to there. Take those away. And this one. I really should have kept that, shouldn't I? There's bound to be a bit that. Oh, no, never mind. There's bound to be a bit on that one. I'm not going to get full coverage, but never mind. I've got that much of it. A bit wasteful, but hey. If you can't splash out on a bit of double-sided sticky tape, when can you splash out? Oh, I knew that would happen. That sticks to the wrong side of your finger. Get off me. Thank you. There we go. That's that one. And again, we want to make sure that bonds nicely. Just doing a bit of bonding. Not a bit of bondage. So, take the edge off. Well, it's I could take the edge off tonight, but I don't drink, so I rarely drink. Once a year, sometimes twice, sometimes my birthday, rarely my birthday. But I do have an odd glass at Christmas, and regret it for a couple of days afterwards. But no, I'm not taking the edge off. I'm just taking the edge off this. Yeah, sorry, I was going to say I could take the edge off because it's my Friday today. It's not actually Friday. It'll be Friday when you see this. It's actually Thursday. But I've taken tomorrow off so that I can get some domestic stuff done. Right, so I've taken tomorrow off my day job so I can get some domestic stuff done, whilst also still being able to do all of the stuff that I need to do for my channel. Hopefully, anyway. And that's the theory. Do I want to use the scruffy bit? I do, but it's going to be on the inside though. You're not going to see it, so I'm not going to bother about that. I'm going to just plonk it like that. There really isn't much choice because I've put it down now, so bit of pressure. So yeah, I've taken some time off work to be able to kind of get, it's payday tomorrow. I need to go and do food shopping, and I'm trying to get it all done on a Saturday and then do prototype making or idea planning for the week of videos. Oh, Dave, the complete idiot, just cut that bit off, why don't you? Is sometimes a bit much. See, look, I've completely cut that bit off, but well, it's fine. We're not going to worry about it. Can get a bit much, like I say, so trying to use time off from work, my day job, so that I can get my weekend job in the bag. That come out? It has. That's all right. That's not bad, actually. Right, that can stay over there while that bonds. We'll get this other one sorted now. Get this glued down. We can do a better job this time. Stick that bit on. Not those scissors, Dave. Move the scissors away. Oh, stick it to the table. Not a good idea. Not the best idea you've had all week, anyway. Put those two together. So, yeah. So, what have you guys all been up to? You're doing something fun, exciting, different. Who's inspired you this week? You've done anything that's got you out your comfort zone? Hopefully, because that's what we should be doing. You can stick to the normal way, or you can take the scenic route. If you take this, oh look, that's not gone right, has it? Take the scenic route, you see much more pretty and interesting things. So, oh, I tell you now, if you could see off camera the amount of times I've stuck this to something it shouldn't have got stuck to, just in that couple of seconds I was off camera. No, Dave, don't stick it to your desk either. Oh. They are going to seriously need some unsticking, because they're not going to be useful anytime soon. I'll just stick those together. Come over that. Everything's escaping from the bin. The rubbish bin. So, these boards, by the way, you might be asking, because you didn't see me do it, because I was talking to myself at the time. I might still be talking to myself, who knows. I didn't really measure them. What I did was I guesstimated where I wanted it to be. So, I'm sorry, just bear with me a minute, because I'm a little bit stuck, a bit glued up. It's all very sticky. So what I did was I just took this and I placed it on a piece of card, and I said, I want it to be kind of hang over that much there and that much there, and then I'm going to cut that bit off there, and that's what I did. So I didn't do measuring as such. That is a terrible wonky line, but it's alright. It's going on the back, so I might even cut this down a bit more, but that's what I did. So I didn't do any measuring, so it's not a specific size. You can hear the concentration. The concentration is trying to get the layer off without severing an artery. Oh, when you're just trying to get that bit, and you try not to scoop it into your finger. That's what I was trying to do. That's not coming up without taking the other layer off, so give it a rub. I didn't rub it down though, did I, like the last one? Should have done that, Dave. Turn it around to get this edge. So I've been watching something on Amazon. In fact, me and Brian started watching it last night. So Brian came round for tea last night. So tea in the UK is an evening meal. So he came round for tea last night, and we started the things we'd like to watch. We've kind of run out of at the moment, and there's some things I can't watch without Vic, and then there's things that Vic doesn't want to watch, but me and Brian have already watched. And so anyway, we started watching on, well, in the UK it's on Amazon Prime. It's called Wilderness, or is it The Wilderness? It's Wilderness. It's got her out of Doctor Who in it. It's about a British couple, and I can't. Anyway, it's like full of twists and turns and unexpected. And the first episode I was a bit like, what? What? I don't understand. Big question mark. But then I had to watch the second episode because I wanted to know what. And then I watched the second episode, and then I had to watch the third. And then it got to the point where I was like, I've got to go to work tomorrow. So I took Brian home because he doesn't drive, as you know. So I drove him home, and he only lives up the road. And then I was like, I want to see more, but I can't watch it now without Brian. So I'm now stuck for another thing that I can't. I like to have something to watch in the evenings. So I mean, I catch up on YouTube videos and what other people are doing and the people that I follow and all of that as often as I can. But sometimes I just want to. The term in the UK that I would use is mong out. So monging just means like just vegging out, just not really paying attention, but paying attention and relaxing, that sort of thing. I'm just like I guess it's a very British word. So I can't do that when I'm watching people's YouTube videos, because I like to watch them and then be able to comment on them and have an informed comment, not be like, oh, I tuned out for 20 minutes, I forgot what you said. So I like to be able to watch them and comment, and I always try to comment, and I always like, and if I haven't liked on the day, at the end of the week I go back and I look at my watch history, and I go back and I go in and I specifically like all the videos that I've seen for the week. Because lots of people say to me, oh yeah, it's really hard, I know you like people to like your videos, but it's really difficult, because like, when you're watching on a TV and rather than on a computer, it's not as easy. No, I appreciate it's not. However, go back and like people's videos, because it's really important. This platform, YouTube, would be nowhere without likes. So you need to like it. You wouldn't go to the theatre and watch a play and get up and leave without clapping or applauding. So you should at least do that for the individual on YouTube. And I'm not normally a nag, but I'm going to nag on this occasion because it's just polite. So if you like what I'm doing, not just me, but if you like anything that anybody's doing, tell them. Please tell them. I've seen too many good people give up doing YouTube because they're not getting the likes, and if you don't do the likes, then YouTube, the platform doesn't share it, and yeah. So without the likes, people don't see it, and unfortunately, the algorithm isn't set up for small channels. It's set up for channels with, multiple viewers, etc. So those bigger channels, I'm not saying don't like them, because I think you should be applauding at every show that you like, not just the ones that are done by the amateurs. But I think they're a bit more forgiving of people that don't interact with their videos as much, whereas the smaller channels aren't. And it takes a lot of time and effort to put things in, and at the end of the day, it's a free viewing platform. Some of you might pay for the premium thing, but you don't have to. I certainly don't pay for a premium package on YouTube. Sorry, I just need to turn this to my advantage and see if I've made any colour on there. So, do that. I might do a bit of brushed corduroy. Shall I go for a bit of brushed corduroy, or should I go for another colour first? Oh, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Oh, I just am. Oh, you know what I might use? Some of these which I haven't used for a while. So there's this artistry ink. These are very juicy because I don't use them. And this is an olive green, which I think might be a good colour on the edge of there. Right, Dave, you might need some kind of a Nessendorber. Nessendorber. No, Dave, every time you think you're funny, every flaming time. Shut up, Dave. Give it a rest. I think there's somewhere in here, somewhere in the city where the air is still. I think it might be in here. I think there's actually there is. It's there. Shall I use that while I'm waiting for the other thing to come along? Take that off. Stick that on. Right, let's give this a go. Oh. No, that's got... Oh, I've done it now, haven't I? That's obviously had... what's that other stuff called? Not dioxide. Oxide ink on it. So maybe I'll just go for this, whatever. I can't remember which bit I was just using. Which bit that's got ink on it. Oh, let's talk about cross-contamination. It's all going on here today. How many of you have cross-contaminated your ink pads? I'm sure I'm not the only person that's done that. Right, okay, so now we've got this kind of hangy over bit here. I'm just going to kind of blend it out by scooping it off from the edge and kind of rubbing it in. Any bits where it's dried, just put a bit of wet over it and it'll help. Of course, can't leave that in the middle. I mean, like, I might cover it in something, but definitely needed to give it something. If I've got a green, I'm wondering if I have a green oxide ink, because that might actually be the kind of thing I need, a bit more opaque oxide inks. So oh, what a pretty colour I am. That's the bit that foxes me every time, is how to fold it back up again. So I think I'm going to have some of this colour on it now. They used to be like this, where they'd kind of fall apart, but now they seem to just peel off the backing. I want to break up one of the corners, like bash it a bit. I think I've got some new. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Perfect. I'll just wipe that all over my face. Don't love that so much. So, is that the new? No, that's definitely not the new one. That's definitely seen better days. There we go. Yes. So I think on this one, I was going to have that on the front, but you know what? I think I'm going to have that on the front. I have that on the front of there, and I think I might have the same on the back. So I think, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. Yeah. So let's do the back. Let's move that out of the way. I don't mind it having a bit of a splash if it. There we go. Sounds like a gong going off because it makes the springs on the overhead lights wobble. Oh yeah, I like the way it's actually not made it that blue. It's taken some of the colour out. I really like the way that looks. Oh no, Dave, don't try and take the lid off. It doesn't have a lid on. Just don't go over the top, Dave. So I've done that, right. Got a few splatters on this, which, like I said, I wasn't worried about. Quite like it. Actually, put the lid back on it. So that's going to be the back, and that's going to be the front. And it's going to be, I'm going to use that as the spine. I'll do the same on that one. Yep. And I think if it was going to have a squash lid, we're going to go for that edge. So now I've kind of split it. You can see all the grey board. So what we need to do now is we just need to make sure that all of this has got some ink on it so that you can't see the grey board. So I will be back shortly. And sometimes you just have to use your fingers to mush it in. There we go. That's going to be the front bit. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to come back in a minute. I'm going to have to go and wash my hands. So, okay, so I've washed my hands. I mean, they're not perfect, but they're better than they were. Just didn't want to leave big fingerprints all over this. So now I've got to think about how I'm going to attach it. So do I want to have those on the outside, or do I want to have them on the inside? Do you know what? I'm going to stick them to the inside, and then I can attach something on the outside that I like the idea of. So I think there's going to be a fourth part to this video. So not technically a four-parter. Just you might see this in another video if you want to. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to attach this to this like this. Attach this to this like. Oh no, I'm not going to, because I'll lift the lid off the glue. All of you shouting at the screen, probably saying, "Dave, you left the lid off again." I know where the pin went though this time. I remember. I should have put it on the magnet, but I didn't. Look at me, put it on the magnet now. Showing off like I knew what I was doing in the first place. So I'm going to attach it and then decide how else I'm going to proceed. Oh, let's do all of these, Dave. Don't just do one. Don't get your pages in a pickle. Don't get your knickers in a twist, and don't get your pages in a pickle. There you go, sorted. Put that underneath there. Right. Hang on. Hang on, Dave. You haven't established now, have we, which side the only way is up? That's the only way is up. So this is the front cover. The only way is up, baby. for you and me now. The only way is up, baby. Is that kind of in the middle? It certainly is kind of in the middle. Is that kind of in the right place? It certainly is kind of in the right place. It's definitely kind of. Oh, did I get it in the right, on the right way round? I got it on the right way round as well. I know, this is like amazing. This like, what's going on? This is not me that's doing this, surely. So, oh, I've got a top tip I need to tell you about, so I'll do that in a minute. So let me just put this on. So this is just basically here to stop it from the glue from squeezing out and sticking to the page. Or for overspill, like where I've just completely like lost the plot, just glued it, put glue over the edge of the tab like I've done just there. It's good for that as well. Oh, and again. Right. And then this one is going to go on here. Now, I would probably say try and line it up better than I'm about to do. But it's mine, and I will do as I want to. That's all I've done to line it up. So I've kind of eyeballed it and stood it on one end and hope for the best. So cool. So that's those bits kind of gluing together. So let me stick a pin in it. Stick a pin in it. Hopefully not my finger. There we go. Stand that up. Okay, so this is the back, this is the front. So hopefully that's going to stick to there. So one of the tips I was going to tell you about is if you find that, so for instance, if this is ripping, these pages are ripping, something you can do to avoid that is you can stick some faux sellotape down either side of it, okay, to stop them ripping. I don't mind a little bit of movement on it, so if they kind of move around, I'll show you on the back one, I think here. I put a bit here because it had torn on this bit, just these two tabs from where I'd moved it around trying to get it to feed in. So you can put, look, you see there and there. You can put a bit of tape on. You don't have to worry about it getting in right in the middle. So you see how this isn't quite in the middle and it kind of buckles on there. That's fine. It's not a biggie. It's very forgiving. I know a few people have said, oh, I wouldn't be able to do it because I'm not very good at measuring. You don't have to measure. You saw me when I was making this. I didn't really do much measuring. I've done it by eye. But what I love about it is it's that expandability. Look how much give that has in it. So you can fill that with all sorts of goodies, and it's got this kind of floating hinge to it, which means that you can stuff it full and it's never going to be an alligator mouth because it kind of will expand with it. So this needs to dry before I do any more to it. So I think I'm going to leave this video here. Now, I might do a little video later in the week, or later on, maybe at the weekend, where I just show you what I've done to it or what I'm going to do to it. I might put a few extra bits on the edge. I don't know. I'm not sure whether I want to see this continued around to the front. Just going to pinch those bits together. Or whether I want to leave it like it is. I like it the way it's turned out, to be fair. I was thinking of having some kind of banding coming out as though it was like some kind of a a wooden hinge to it. But you know, I like the way it looks. And I think on the other ones I've left it so you could see the hinges. This time I think the hinges for me belong on the inside on this one. The other ones that I've made previously, they had them on the outside, and they were fine for that particular one, but this is a different project. And I think, and I like the way that it keeps itself closed, because it's made of board this time. I will do more to it. I think I definitely want to get these envelopes involved in some way. So there's this lovely internal, remember it's an envelope journal, so there's this internal mail envelope. So I was thinking maybe I could have that in some way, or maybe half of it actually. Do you know what, that might be a nice thing to do. Let's have a look at that before I go. I always do this, don't I? I'm saying I'm going to go, and then I don't go. I'm going to cut that envelope there and just see what that looks like before I go. But I'm just very conscious of this video probably being another 23 hours long. And some of you like a long video, and some of you don't like a long video, but also there's the time element for me as well. So take that off, that bit off, keep that, because you'll do something with that. So these are internal mail envelopes, and I thought maybe if I cut this down on the edge up to where that line is, roughly where that line is, and do it on this edge as well, roughly to where that line is. And kind of fold it roughly where that line is. See if that's in the right place. It is. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold that bit up as well. I'm going to cut that one off. I'm just going to shape this. Maybe shaped a bit more on this side because it doesn't match. Just round that bit. Just round that as well. And then glue that bit up. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to give that a bit of an inky edge with whatever colour is still left on this one, which is not a lot of colour. That's alright, it's got some colour on it, it's fine. And then I'm going to glue that on there, and we're going to put that as an internal pocket envelope thing. Because I waved it in front of your face at the start of the video, and then I didn't use it, and I didn't want you to feel like I was dangling a carrot. So these open like this. They've got like a sticky bit there and a piece of tape to stop it sticking properly. And you do that, and the reason why they've got holes in is then you can tell whether it's got something in it or not. So I think I'm going to put that in there. I am definitely going to do that. And do I want to have it as a pocket as well? Shall I have it so you could tuck something down there? Yeah, let's do that as well. Just all the way around. And then I think I need to leave the ink to dry, otherwise we're gonna find lots of things not sticking. Yeah, I'm going to have it like that. Seal that down all around the sides. Perfect. Then we've got this bit that you can open and put something in there, and then you've got a bit there that you can tuck in something. So that's it for now. I'm going to have to see you in another video. Who knew it was going to be a 4-parter? The next part will just be me finishing it off, though, so it won't be anywhere near as long. So that's it. So I hope you've enjoyed that. You could actually park it here, you know, if you don't want to come back. Entirely up to you. But, you know, come back for the madness or the cake. You can come back for the cake if you like. And I will then think about filling it as well. So I do want to put something else in the back. Maybe I'll put that one in the back. Maybe I have that as kind of a flippy, flappy, uppy thing. Anyway, I'll decide in the next video. So there we go. That's it. So that's our floating spine accordion thing. I mean, like, you know, look, I could put a whole pad in there and it's still going to make it alligatory. Let's see, could I get 2 pads in there? Yeah, perfect. So you could have that thickness worth of stuff in it. It's still not going to get alligatory. In fact, if you put it closer to the spine, there you go. It'll even forgive that as well. How wonderful is that? So there we go. That's our floating. It's not a floating alligator, is it? Floating, whatever it's called. What did I call it? Floating accordion spine or concertina spine, whatever. Yeah. So anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, my name is Dash of Dave, and I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. And you know that at the end of every video, I have to give this place a little bit of a tidy. And that's what I've just done. So, you should do that too. And then it'll be nice and tidy for next time you come into the craft room. Not a bombs hit it like it does. It looks sometimes when I'm not filming. So, please give this video a like, a thumbs up. If you don't do it now, come back at the end of the week and give it a like then. Because you wouldn't go to the theatre and not applaud. So, especially if you've enjoyed it. So, I will see you all in the next video. Really appreciate you being here. Great to have all the newcomers, but just as fantastic to have all of the old comers. No, the originals, the people that have been here since day one. So thank you very much for all of your support. Really appreciate it. I'm going to go and now have a nice cup of tea, and I will see you all in the next video. Lots of love to you all. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you in the next video. Have I done the I love you all without exception? Yes, I have. All right then. I don't know. Anyway, shut up, Dave. All right then. Take care. Bye. Bye.